Like I say, the whole idea, Fantasy Island, I think I have some other videos about this, but the whole idea of the Fantasy Island, originally I had a seaplane on the Titanic, and they would land on the front deck and stuff like that. It was a little dangerous, and I saw some pictures of it, but basically, and people still wanted to go up and stuff, and then we did the sky hook, where a hook would go out on a crane, and the aircraft would come along and then catch the hook and would stop and all that. The airplane could fly faster, and it was a really special airplane. Anyway, Fantasy Island, the whole idea of the tourism industry, I invented it actually. Um, I was building mostly it was about food and survival and everything else like that, and like model pig farms and uh, creating mostly it was also about I had the food for the Titanic where the Titanic got their food and stuff came from farms which I had paid for and set up myself and had people tending. I mean, since like the Middle Ages, since forever, basically, I've basically been doing this thing. I'm the leader of life forms and the leader, builder, creator of suns and stars and planets and everything. So I basically, this whole pretty much whole entire time, mostly basically, I go to different planets, but I came back, and on Earth I was inventing the tourism industry and also inventing mining and also steam mining the drill rigs and doing core samples to figure out what kind of minerals are down there and what we could get and what we how to extract it and all that. But and that was going to Germany and being done over there. And then they take samples every week. But anyway, the whole idea behind tourism stuff and plus when I was doing uh, the Columbia, the whole Columbia Peninsula and all that. We were setting up buildings for tourism, and also because I was trying to get this tourism idea going where people would travel. I wanted people to travel, and I wanted people to see the world because it's a beautiful world and it had a lot of water and I'd been doing some travel stuff before, back billions of years ago, but now I was changing it to do more tourism. I invented aircraft and I had aircraft, so I was adding that to the thing. So with Fantasy Island, I was featuring one of my aircraft, and the thing was I wanted people to see a vacation, on TV, and then they might want to go there even more. It's like a movie. It's like a 30-minute commercial for tourism and an island basically. And so builder of the Titanic and trying to get the tourism industry going, because with aircraft people and with the Titanic I was building the luxury ship and all that other stuff so people could be lavished with riches, and there was even clothes that you could rent with the Titanic for your voyage, and then they would be cleaned and taken back on another ship or back with the ship. Basically, there were like two clothing shops where you could rent your clothing before you got onto the Titanic, or it was included in the ticket price. I forget exactly what the details were of all that, but I was setting all that up, so I could build the tourism company thing because a lot of people didn't have really nice clothes back then, so they could rent and I always had the newest latest style of everything. So I mean, I had clothing shops galore. I was trying to clothe like all of my employees and like a third of the world basically. So having a couple nice looking clothes was like nothing. It was like no big deal. I mean, 1,500 pairs of clothes. What are you talking about? I have 5,000 or 15,000 army people. I clothe all of the German army and all of the French army, and I clothe all of the American army, and I like every army basically. I mean, all my French army, my American army, basically armies, basically in general. I invented the whole concept of having an army. So pretty much, because people were trying to kill my people, and I didn't like that. So protection and all that. I invented the idea of protection, basically. Pretty much, I was doing it. Well, I mean, I had other races and stuff, but pretty much with the humans, I invented it and all that. So anyway, so basically with the Fantasy Island thing, and the I was also like trying to show off the fine glasses with like the silver on the tip because I had silver mines and had silver mining, so and we had worked really hard to get the silver into the glass, so it looked like there was silver on the glass or in the glass or something. I had a team of people working on that, So everything could be just right. Like back in the Romanov time, I had castles with real gold goblets and diamonds on the outside of the goblets, which are really rare. Just using up some of my stones or some of the things that we had found over the years. Just like, well, what are we gonna do with this? Well, let's shine it up and put it on a glass, basically. And stuff like using the titanium for a nice, beautiful necklace. Like I basically pretty much invented the whole idea of jewelry, pretty much, and because like, well, what else are you gonna do with it? Make something nice out of it? Wear it? I don't know. What are you gonna do with it? Um, and plus, gold used to get stolen a lot. It was a status symbol too. I mean, most people consider it a status symbol. I'm like, well, I mean, Fort Knox, and I had more actually than that. Anyway, so like the Titanic, like all the ships and stuff, and also like also evacuating Europe basically when the Africa was going crazy. So I was trying to get people out of Europe pretty much, and get them away from the problems that were over there. And basically, because I had built up over there, and there was some small stuff, but it wasn't really all that big. And so at some point in time, I decided to basically just evacuate Europe pretty much from all my people and move them all over to pretty much America, the United States. And besides, I think I was doing the Panama Canal back then anyway. I mean, most of my projects were like thousands of people would be descending. I had like 5 million people or something like that, 2.5 million people on the, or 5 million people or something on the on the Panama Canal. I mean, even the White Star Line's what's called a Titanic base or bay, that was a swamp that was being dredged, and there was 2.5 million people working on just that swamp. Dredging the swamp. They went in like 3 or 4 different stages of dredging the swamp, building the foundries and also the dock thing, and plus there's the coal mine too, and there's also a coal stack there too, that where they stockpiled my coal basically for wartime or whatever. I used it for either if I had to go to war or whatever, then I was going to use it for that, or whatever I needed basically, and people could take from it at some small amounts too. Anyway, though, but there's a lot of coal actually. There's a huge pile there. I had a lot of piles. I mean, all of underneath China. Japan, I believe, is a big coal spot too. There's coal. There's quite a few big coal. I mean, Europe, Ireland. There's another big coal thing up there. There's actually a lot of coal around the world. Anytime you find oil, there's always coal, and I was always kind of running into oil. It was more of an inconvenience to me. It's like, what am I gonna do with this? Damn, I don't know. Build an engine. Engines almost came along with what to do with all the oil lamps. I don't know, because in order to get to the metal, you got to get through the oil. So, but I mean, we also used it for other things too. Researching all that. I mean, I've basically been around for a long time. So, anyway, but the Fantasy Island tourism companies, that was basically the beginning. I'm White Star Lines, Lucifer, White Star Line, Brian Bradley, Brian Bradley, basically me. So, builder of the first star of the sun right there, and this planet, and 800 other galaxies, including the one that's coming towards us, and this whole galaxy too. So, room to grow. And then doing the tourism industry and getting the tourism industry going. And I actually wanted to do space tourism, so I actually set up. I had other planets set up so people could go between one planet and another planet, another planet, another planet, and visit the destination spots on all the different planets. So I heard that was very successful, though. I don't really know, though. So, and happened at some point in time during my death or whatever. I don't really know.